This box. Pack a punch! Oh my god! I think it makes vodka!
This holiday, share everything. Share not even close. Share, you owe me. Share just right. The Share Everything plan. Shareable data across 10 devices.
stuff? Are we live right now yet, or what?
No. 1 minute, I'm just getting you in here. Oh shit, my phone.
Who else is coming on?
No one. I'm guessing some people will come in, but I've been working a shitload, so I've been sleeping all day. Tried to get Emily on, but she never wants to come on, so.
Yeah, I was in a party. I was in a party with her when that. She's like, well, you're going on. Why do I need to go on?
I know you can hear me on stream, bro. Alright, here we go. Alright, what is up, ranters, and welcome to the Weekly Rant. On tonight's show, we have Ego the Icon back with us, of course, because in probably the last hour, I would say, the new rule set has been announced, and Ego has been announcing his daily tournaments for the past couple months, and I think those are finally started to get off the ground. And new credit system, new ranking system, new everything. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about here in the next hour or so. So I want to start off with this rule change. I mean, what all changed? Let's just start off with that.
There's a lot of different things that changed. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I don't know everything offhand. I'll make sure I get everything right. But we'll start out with 5-second respawn delay on CTF. It's something that I really don't like switching directly to it because we haven't really tested it yet. But the way I look at it is that CTF's lifespan right now is very, very, very small if there's not some type of change to it, because I just think it's too slow and too boring compared to everything else that's going on. It's like a little bit behind, if that makes any sense. So.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is we'll try this out, and if it helps out, makes it more entertaining, and the game still plays out the way it should be, then good, CTF can stay. And if not, then I don't really have much hope for CTF. The next thing is we got rid of Hardline. I think that was a big problem with how easily people got kill streaks, especially the higher kill streaks. I think seeing something like a VSAT, it's cool to see, oh man, like I got a VSAT, but it really does just affect the game way too much. Like on hardpoint, you call a VSAT in, and you basically just gave away like 80 points of the like say 50 points of the objective.
Yeah.
Because you get a VSAT, and that's just.
And everyone gets score streaks, and it gets.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, you basically lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much do. We've seen that. That's been pretty prevalent time and time again. Whenever
and I think Hardline is
a
big part of that. Like people, I don't think
it is. I know. Yeah, we had. I know we had the entire complexity team on Monday night to talk about Frag Cup 4 and stuff like that. And TP said that he figured it out to where he could get a VSAT in like the first minute of the game just by hopping off hard points, letting them cap it, then kill them, then hopping back on. Like, I mean, yeah, that was one thing that had to get banned. I agree with that. But what else do we got?
I'm going to touch on the chat real quick. Somebody said something about the CTF thing, which is the first thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Pushing for universal rules. If changing a respawn, wouldn't that make that harder to achieve? League play actually already changed CTF respawn the 5 seconds. So that's one of the main reasons we really did it without testing. And for the fact that I said before, like, I'm pretty sure CTF wouldn't last if it was like that. So it's like they already did it. So that's us. That is us staying universal, to be honest. People just might not really see that. Well, that's League play being glorified pubs. That's what we're basing universal off of. Everybody's using it.
Yep. we're trying to make a universal rule set here, guys. I mean, that's what a lot of us want. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, for future growth in this game, we do need a universal rule set. We don't need 20 different rule sets. When you go to every tournament and it's a different rule set, it just doesn't work that way. So, I mean, we keep improvising, we keep improving on these rules, and we keep, I mean, we take, I mean, these Ego, Emily, I mean, all them guys, they're all taking all of your guys' feedback on rules, and they're making changes on stuff that you guys hate, but then when they make those changes, you guys always want more. I mean, it's like, what can we get banned next? I mean,
Yeah.
just freaking, I mean, put up with it, put up or shut up. I mean, I'm tired of just from today, dude. Like after these rule sets changed, Twitter blew up. It's been nonstop for the past 30 or so minutes on what else should get banned. I mean, shotguns, hijacked, Yemen. I mean, there's just more and more shit that you guys want banned. It's ridiculous. But let's move on to what else we got. What else rule changes were put into play?
The next thing is we got rid of assault shields. You didn't really see them much, but I have seen it a couple times, and I've seen it. I guess a lot of the AM community uses it sometimes, and it's just like the type of thing that doesn't make any sense to me when it comes to like someone getting on the roof of a building and making a head glitch right in front of them. Like,
or down low in hijacked in the engine room, dude, blocking the doors and stuff. I'm surprised I didn't see more of that in Fred Cup 4, but yeah. But I haven't looked at the rules myself, so
and
I don't know.
they don't have any positive impact at all. They're just like you don't see them being used for anything other than the kind of like nonsense. And then the last thing was this is actually for I thought I saw Nameless in the chat. He's gonna love that one as we got rid of Akimbo. Just a lot of people complain about the dual pistols. It's a lot like Modern Warfare 2. The reason we just didn't do the Akimbo Cat 40s is because I know people would just go right from that to dual Rafficas. It's just like having a secondary that can be as powerful as your SMG is just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I remember Too Quick made a pretty clutch kill against Optic using those Akimbo pistols in the Fred Cup 4 tourney.
Yeah.
And Clayster is pretty prevalent with them too. He uses those Akimbo pistols a lot. So that's a good rule change. I mean, UMG and you guys have the same rule set right now, right? You guys work together on this. That's what Emily said.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people were asking why change the rules with a week left before UMG, but I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't think it's not that drastic of a change, really. I mean, you ban a couple perks and a few things here and there that people were disgruntled about. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people keep complaining. I don't know if there are any players, any pro players in here that want to get up in here and talk about the new rule change. Just hit me up on Skype. Most of you probably have my Skype, and I'll add you guys in here. But have there been any other changes to the rules? What haven't we got to? 5-second CTF, banning. What perks were banned? I don't think we talked about any perks except
the only perk. Yeah, that's the only perk.
All right.
We made one small change to CTF. One perk was banned. Akimbo's was banned, which is for secondaries, and Assault Shield. None of those things should really be affecting anybody for UMG. I saw Exposed tweet that he wasn't going to UMG because those changes, and I just couldn't help but to laugh. I'm like, you're not going to UMG because you didn't get on a team, and you're not going to UMG. Do not blame those changes for not going because those changes are so tiny that they should not affect the way you play at all unless you're running around with an Assault Shield and the Akimbo secondaries as your class.
Matt Benson, I said score streaks shouldn't be banned. That was my main push, is that score streaks should at least be tried out and improvised. I always said that things should be tried out. But of course, there's always going to be stuff that needs to be banned in competitive gameplay. I mean, it's just how it is. It'll never change. And, I mean, I don't see how, I mean, these are small changes, so I don't know what you're saying there, Matt Benson, but you're wrong, bro.
Anyone talking about like score streaks and all that, like you're just way behind. I think everyone's adapted really well. The feedback has been awesome. Fred Cup went amazing. I just don't get why people always have to have these doubts, man. You guys are all doubting, but you're behind. Like that's I hate to say it. I don't want to sound cocky, but when it comes down to it, like I don't know. I'm not saying I know everything at all. I use feedback from the hundreds of different pro players that I talk to on a daily basis. I use feedback from everything we see on Twitter, everything we see in events every single day. Like even someone has like we'll use Solo as an example. Like he's a passionate player that plays every day, and he still doesn't get it to the fullest. Look at even when Aches and everyone else at the beginning were just right against the score streaks right away. But look at how it turned out. People turned and understood, and really like I haven't seen complaints at all compared to how like if you look at how it was in the beginning, the people complaining about it, everyone's adjusted, and I haven't seen anyone complaining about anything besides the stuff that I feel like we addressed today. Like those were a lot of the main complaints.
Yeah. Any questions right now? Did we? I mean, are those all the rule changes? Just like I think like 5 or 6 things.
Yeah, the other thing is UMT already had this, but we removed Cargo CTF and Meltdown CTF from our map rotation.
Mm. What do you think about this whole shotgun thing that started now? I saw Moho tweet Emily Kate. I've seen a bunch of people say they're overpowered and it makes hijack the awful map to play. I mean, what are your thoughts on the whole shotgun thing?
Well, if we're gonna get into the shotgun thing, we might as well get Solo in the Skype call if he wants to get in here because he's been coming at me for the last like half hour about this, and obviously he represents a good team and has a strong opinion on it. And
I mean, do you have him on Skype? I don't think I have him actually.
I just asked him if he if he was gonna get on or what. I don't even know if he has Skype, but we'll see. But I'll touch on it a little bit. I think people are saying that one reason. This is why what's driving me crazy. People think that the only reason the shotgun wasn't banned was because I use it sometimes, and that's just insane. If you guys actually think that I'm that type of person at all, anyone who knows me, especially like Solo particularly, is the one sitting here saying this, and he should know me better than that. Like, if I cared about myself, I would be streaming pub matches on Twitch. You guys wouldn't have had a frag cup. It has nothing to do with me. You think to be honest, like, come on, like, so you can say this too. I'm on Madden Ultimate Team lately more than I care about playing as much. I don't want to say I've lost the passion to play, and it's just like I don't like scrimming when there's nothing to play for. Like I can't sit there and grind scrims out. I don't want to say I'm past that, but like I do focus more on making things better for players. Like that's how I started this. I want to make shit better for everybody else. If you think that I would even the thought ever came into my head that I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna ban shotguns because I want to use them. You don't know me, and you're just like way too far behind, man. It's not that would be the last thing that mattered. What do I care about? Like, I'm not trying to go out there when I play 'cause I like playing. It has that's just crazy.
Oh,
That's all you gotta be your stream, man.
Hold on, dude. Give me a second.
It's okay. It's his first day on Skype.
It actually is. It's okay. All right. Is it good?
Yeah, if you mute your stream,
all you need to do is mute the stream. Like mute your computer.
All right, I got it.
All right. So I mean, you voiced. I think you've had a couple all caps moments in the chat already about what's going on today. So what are your thoughts on all this?
I think we should ban shotguns. Like everyone's saying that there was a couple overhyped moments on the stream. They were. Like I watched the whole tournament. It was fine. But those overhyped moments, like that's gonna happen no matter what. If people drop 3-4 pieces, it doesn't matter what gun it is at all. Like people say that it was overhyped because he was using a shotgun. No, that's not why. It's not because he was using a shotgun. It's because he was dropping 3-4 pieces. Like if
using the shotgun opened that opportunity.
People are gonna get hyped no matter what. That's just how it is.
You don't think that he got that shotguns because he was using a shotgun?
It has no skill involved. What people are gonna run 3-4 shotguns on a map? Like I promise you, dude. People, especially because overkill is allowed, people are gonna rock overkill and use a shotgun in hard points that are close combat.
I mean, all isn't like most hard points close combat around the hard point.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point. Like if I'm in a building with a shotgun, you're not coming in.
All right.
I disagree. I disagree.
I think two things. Your teammate, first of all, like you act like, oh man, the other team has a shotgun. We don't have shotguns. You'll see. I think one thing you'll see more of is more shotguns versus shotguns in certain situations when you're close range like that. Which yeah, it's not the most gun skill, but like I don't know, it is entertaining. Like yesterday we were playing, and like I saw one of the first times that the hard point on the ground was actually got like back and forth contested because both teams had like two shotguns and two scorpions down there, and the shit went back and forth. It was crazy. But yeah, if you don't have a shotgun and they have a shotgun, yeah, you're gonna get shit on inside of there. But if everyone can have them, I just think it kind of balances out. And if you're using overkill, you're sacrificing two other important things, if at least, because if you want to have an overkill, you have to use a perk read and then your shotgun and then probably an attachment on that. You're sacrificing three things to do that.
Why do you want shotguns, Ego? Why?
It's not that. It's not about me wanting anything. It's just about the fact
but
that
like
I haven't seen.
If it's not what you want and it's about what the community wants, like we could take a poll. I'm saying over 90% of the community wants it gone.
All right, but if you took a poll and
if you took a poll of the viewership, which is the community that really matters to make these tournaments successful, you're gonna see a 10% that'll say they want to get rid of shotguns.
And also, if you took a poll of score streaks at the beginning, they would have been gone too. And one thing, like people thought another conversation that came up was the FAL. Banning guns is it's a lot different. That's a bigger step than changing something like a spawn delay or banning like an akimbo secondary. Banning a gun is a whole different step. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot more drastic of a change. That's my main thing against shotguns. Like I agree that underground and high draft and in close quarters, it's like crazy, and there's no gun skill in it, and it has its problems, but it's just not the answer is not just to ban it completely. They already nerfed it once, a little bit, and I don't think it did much. But like with guns, we just have to do our best to get the adjustments we need and find the flaws. Because really, the main flaw I see is everybody complains about underground on high draft. Name us the shotguns underground is unfair. Like, what about if they have three shotguns on each team? It's not really unfair. It's balanced, and yeah, it's not the most competitive thing in the world, but it's not unfair. Like, I saw my team run down. They had shotguns down there. We switched to shotguns. We ran down there, and it was fucking stupid, but it was funny. Like, even as a player, it was funny and like entertaining to like every like fucking 4 to 5 guys fighting on the ground with shotguns. That shit was crazy. And that's one hard point on one map. That's, say there's 5 hard points on 6 hard point maps.
I think
that's 30 different locations, and everyone's focusing on this one of those 30 locations.
I think another big issue with just how everything's evolving is teams and these pros are not used to having to adapt to so many different strategies and guns to worry about, that they want to go back to just the simple, okay, here's 4 guns that you can use, and the people that aren't moving with the times and adapting to the new stuff are the ones that are complaining the most.
It has nothing to do with adapting. Like pro players, us or anyone else is gonna adapt no matter what. It's the point that no one wants to go in a match knowing that the other team is gonna be rocking 2-3 shotguns and let's rock 2-3 shotguns. No one wants to see everyone using shotguns.
If no one wants to see it, why was the biggest viewership turnout when we were watching?
Did you see 3-on-3 shotguns? No, I didn't. Like there was one point where Killa was playing Optic, wasn't on Yemen hardpoint, and he held down Church all by himself with a shotgun.
Yeah, because no one else ran in there with a shotgun.
Like I think if you're not agreeing to ban it, at least limit it.
I think a limit would be a good start, but we can't. Every time something new comes up with the community, everyone's just like, "God, fuck it, ban it, fuck it, get rid of it, fuck it, ban it." And that's the stupidest thing to come at the rule set and just have no other side of things.
Yeah, everyone always is against it right away. It's annoying. It was the same way with score streaks. I actually think I'd probably take more heat than anybody over any type of changes. And I'll tell you this, off of score streaks, I'm glad that where we're at now. I think that I don't want to say I think that I was right, but like I think that it worked out, and I think we changed a lot of people's opinions and turned a lot of people's heads with it.
I mean, I don't see why
And
people want to keep tacking on more and more rules. Like, it's like the
Yeah,
first.
that's exactly it. It's like it seems like as soon as this game came out, it's like, ah, that sucks. Fuck it, ban it. Oh, that sucks too. We should, fuck it, ban it. And it seems like it's just a never-ending landslide of people just complaining about everything in this game. When there's all ideally, we want to see a mix of good competitive play and good viewership style play as well. So, we need to stop complaining about everything and stop coming to the conversation just saying, we just need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just need to get rid of it. And we need
So
to come to
hold on. So you think if we ban shotguns, it's gonna affect the viewership?
No, but it's not going to end with shotguns. It'll start with shotguns and it'll be like, oh, fuck it, let's ban Scorpion. That's gay. Let's get rid of that. Or, oh, the M8's too good. We got to ban that now too. Because so you start a precedent, you have to follow through.
Same thing. FAL. People
I know,
already
but
complain about
you're
that. Banning a
comparing
gun is a huge. That's saying someone who uses this gun basically can't participate. To me, a lot of people keep talking about viewership, a lot of it. There's a lot involved with viewership, but the main thing about viewership to me also is, especially with the way Call of Duty is set up, is participants. So like, we don't want to affect it and be like, okay, well, you use a shotgun or you use the FAL, you can't participate. When it comes to limiting those things that are affecting the way the game is played, like changing a respawn delay or using a different game mode or map for a different game mode and stuff like that, those are all things that you're not really taking something away from somebody. When it comes to banning a gun, that's a whole nother step, in my opinion. I think
Look at Black Ops 1 and how mad people were when Fizzerp and you were using the shotgun. How many times did it come up that shotgun needed to be banned after we saw it used once or twice?
Yeah, and what's funny is when me and Fizzerp both used shotgun, that was it. Even though solo, I get what you're saying when you're like 3 or 4 pieces will be entertained no matter what. You see more exciting, just like quick bang, 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 3 or 4 pieces with shotguns, and that shit is entertaining and it's fun to watch. Even though like it is frustrating to play against, and yeah, you might if someone has a shotgun out, then yeah, maybe one person on your team pulls a shotgun out, but you will not see teams running 2 or 3 or 4 shotguns unless it's like on the ground hijack because they will pay for it too much. Man, like, are you serious? If you have people pulling out shotguns on Yemen just for that one hard point, it's gonna affect them, and it does. Like, there's negatives to those things. I saw Killa doing that strat before Frag Cup, and I was doing it a lot too, just pulling a shotgun out on Yemen for the church part, and like it was awesome. But then all of a sudden we'd be on the next hard point, and I'd have a shotgun. And yeah, I'd have to change my class, but
it adds more variety to the game. I mean, I can honestly say this is the first game where I've seen more than one gun used throughout the entire game. Like, watching Frag Cup 4, there were snipers used, shotguns used, SMGs used, ARs used. People are starting to use the FAL now. I mean, there is so much variety in what viewers can look at in different stuff that players are using with the perks and the freaking tech and what's the word I'm looking for, the like stuns and all that other stuff. Like, there's just more. There's a lot more variety to the game. There's more stuff for people to watch. It's all in all a better viewing experience, and I don't see why we have to keep diminishing the game and banning more and more stuff when the game is fine the way it is. I don't see what the problem is. I mean, if you don't like the shotgun and someone is using a shotgun, then have a shotgun class. Freaking pull out the shotgun yourself.
All right. Well, let me speak on this real quick because my team was the team that got demolished by the shotgun on the Fry Cup stream and hijack. So if anyone has a right to talk about it, it'll be me. No, but well, Holiday Doc is saying how if we ban a gun, we're gonna go ban Happy. I don't really like the community banning guns to begin with because if we have to ban a gun, that usually means it's overpowered, which means Treyarch isn't doing their job in balancing the game. So that's not right. I don't think the shotgun as a gun is overpowered. It serves its purpose. I think we need to get rid of Hijacked. I think it's a problematic map. Now here's why.
Hijacked is a very entertaining map to watch, though. Like, it's
firing
constant
range
action.
Now listen, Black Ops, right? The only map that the Spaz was honestly used for was 2 maps, or 1 map was Summit, and then Grid to S&D. That was pretty much That was the big use of the spaz, or the what Fizzer pretty much introduced to competitive. But I feel like hijacked is based off one hill. It is a one hill hard point. Now think about this. You start out the middle hard point against a good team. You guys are going to battle for that hard point. You're going to trade. You're going to contest. It's not going to be a deciding hill until the very end if it has to be. Then it goes to the gymnasium or the workout room. That's also a hill that not many people get so many points out of because teams are literally starting to rotate underground 40 seconds ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid. Because if you spawn by the gymnasium, you can take that risk because your teammates are going to still be behind you getting the gymnasium points. So that's a problem. So if you have a team rotating into a hill 40 seconds ahead of time, doesn't that show you that that hill is way too important and doesn't belong there?
I feel that's my main problem with hijacked is that hill. I don't think it's the map. I wish we could remove that point.
It ruins the map because whoever wins under, I mean, I don't have statistics or anything, but whoever wins that hill will win the game most likely.
I think what's a crazy thing to think about, and this would be totally off of the staying on par with everything else, but is that I think hijacked would be so much better if the hills were fucking random. Like the fact that everybody knows what every next hill is just like it's a little too much.
We brought that up before on this show, and I forget who was on, but they said it like kind of takes. I think it was Rambo that said it kind of takes away from the.
Rambo's always against adding anything that adds randomness, and it is very random. But at least then you have to fight for each one is important to fight at the end of that one.
It would make sense for that.
Well, Midget just said in chat that there's an option to choose.
Yeah, I know that option is in there, but
it is. I didn't even know that.
You would have to do it for every map, which would be
is just crazy. Yeah.
Think about like a map like Raid.
It's really Six just summed it up right there. It's a really reckless, but it would be crazy. You like Swizz says you got spawn fucked. Like not really. I mean you could, but it's random. So like
strategy though. Like,
but you won't see people going. You can't like lose the next hard point off the rip because you got 3 people set up there.
Hills, it's all about gun skill and situational and opportunity. It has nothing to do with strategy, which kind of ruins the whole point. Yeah. But no, that map is just a problem. Like if you think about it, in that winter shotgun's gonna be a literal problem to players being overpowered. Like that map sums up shotguns.
Well, right. Solo was saying is that more people be using overkill, and then like pulling out a shotty, like holding down a hard point or something.
So let's say that we do limit it to 1 shotgun per team. Would that solve the situation?
No.
I mean, it'll help, but it won't really.
It'll help a lot.
But only for hijack. Are 3 people gonna run around and raid with fucking shotguns? Are you gonna lose to that? That'll be a joke if you lose to that. Like people run around with overkill. All right, that's a wild card and 2 slots you're wasting. Yeah. Like that's something you have to sacrifice. I don't really see that because people would start doing it now. I'm telling you, it's the map hijacked, and that's the reason why we're having this conversation.
But you can't just take out hijacked. Hijacked is the best map for everyone. It's just fighting over and over and over and over and over. Like everyone wants to see it. Everyone likes that.
It's the only map where a shotgun is literally overpowered in every single hill. Think about it. You can use it in the mid hill and cabin or whatever you guys call that. You can use it in the kitchen hill. You can use it in the gym hill, and you use it underground. That's all the hills a shotgun is fairly viable, and like all the other maps, that's not the case.
So I just want to quickly point something out. My exact starting point of this conversation about the shotguns was just reiterated by Fizz, so I'm not an idiot. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling you an idiot. Maybe they'll start calling Fizz an idiot now too.
I mean, come on, we can't say you're not an idiot because you're classmate with Fizz. Like, Fizz is going off about the shotguns OP. Like, if I use a shotgun, Solo's saying that I didn't get banned because I use them. So yeah, shotguns. I see what people's complaints are on that one hard point on one map. Like that's. You can't. People strive for this perfection, which is great, but like you can't just expect everything to be fucking 100% perfect. Like yeah, you see shotguns underground hard point on hard point.
It's every hard point in that map. It's not just the one hard point. And another thing, like you gotta
really
think
dominate in that one area. It makes it where you can't really contest.
Would shotguns be so overpowered if this game wasn't so connection based? Like think about it like that. Like people peek a corner and one shot you with a shotgun before you even see them. Like a host shotgun. Have you ever gone up against a host shotgun in a hijack? Yeah, good luck with that. Like it's so.
And that's why the UMG 10K event is gonna be a huge like just display
Test.
of what Black Ops 2 is. I mean, has potential for. And I think after that, I don't see. I honestly, I'm just tired of all these rule sets.
Yeah,
I'm tired of the
UMG will
arguments.
be UMG will be the perfect benchmark for what we
Yeah.
need to do to move forward because it'll show us exactly what needs to change on land. We'll have a large sample of all these pros that'll be able to put in their input after playing on land instead of just a few people, a handful here and there.
Yeah.
And I think we can't jump the gun and try to change rules before UMG if that's what people are kind of hinting at with this shotgun thing.
Well,
people are all over the shotgun. I think it's ridiculous that people are wanting to ban it. We didn't.
Well, it's the new thing, man. There's always got to be something to bitch about, right?
I honestly think that it shows a real downside when you use a shotgun. Like there's times where you're just totally put in a bad situation and it's useless, but there is no downside on that one map. Like that's the only problem I have with it. Like I don't think it should be banned. I don't think it's strong enough to be banned. To be honest, like
it's
I said,
a shotgun. I mean, shotguns are strong weapons in close quarters combat. I mean,
but I'm saying that entire map is close quarters. That's what I'm saying. Like every hard point, it's you can sit around a corner and just three-piece people walking with a shotgun. Like I said, it's just that map.
I already said ban no weapons.
We shouldn't ban any weapons. I mean, I can understand banning hardline and shit like that because it gives you a VSAT in 30 seconds flat, as TP mentioned on the last show. But I mean, other stuff like that, I don't see.
I think hardline will balance out the VSAT situation because like a lot of people wanted to ban the VSAT, but it's going to be much harder to get a VSAT now without hardline.
Yeah.
My question is, all right, so say you start seeing 2 to 3 shotguns on a team and you see close to 4v4 shotguns on hijack. Is that to the point where we have to move hijack out as the map?
I agree. Like I said, I don't think that map, if you think about it, takes.
I just think we have to see it happen before you make changes. You can't just
how many maps are there in competitive play right now?
There's 6 hard points. For UMG, I think there's 3 CTFs and 5 S&Ds maybe.
Yeah, there's 14 total.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, is hijack the only map that people are disgruntled about right now?
With the shotguns, yeah. I mean, like I said, you can use them in other hills, like Yemen. You could use it in the treehouse, but then you're letting them get close to you. And
I hear people want Yemen banned too. I've been seeing that around.
I hate Yemen, to be honest, but I mean, it works kind of well. I think Yemen is another one of those maps. I mean, hardpoint is a domino effect altogether, but the treehouse, like the second hill, like decides the game because you have to contest for the hill where you spawn to get to the next hill. So if you win that hill and you get score streaks, doesn't matter if the team rotates earlier for the fruit baskets hill because then you're just gonna use your score streaks, get them out of the hill, and then get the 60 seconds on that hill. So it's a domino effect. I think we should try out cargo hardpoint though. Like I don't see really too much of a problem with that map, to be honest.
A lot of people have said that's a good map. I know Eggs was pushing for cargo hardpoint also.
Yeah.
The only problem with that map, there's 3 hills. That's the only problem.
Karma's not a fan of Plaza Hardpoint? What?
I love Plaza Hardpoint. What the heck?
If you ask 10 different people from 10 different teams which maps they like and don't like, it's going to be different. That's why you can't just like...
Nah, most people don't like Yemen Hardpoint, dude. Like a lot of teams do not like Yemen Hardpoint.
Yeah, I don't like Yemen.
I don't know. There's just too many buildings.
I mean, I hope in the next couple months though that all this rule discussion can finally end. Like I hope honestly after UMG, like a week after UMG, there should be no more discussion about rules, and we should move forward and focus on something else than just rules because this is like setting us back.
Well, go ahead. That's the question though. Like after UMG, when MLG decides if they're gonna announce this on the circuit for an event or two, that decides if they're gonna pick up the UMG rule set and go from there. I mean, they might just say, "Fuck that, we have our own rule set."
I don't think they do that.
And then people are talking about this whole spawn delay in hardpoint. No,
awful idea.
That is the worst idea you can. You think people manipulate the spawn system now? Wait till there's a fucking spawn delay. You will never even get close to a hard point if a team is set up.
It'd be really easy.
No spawn delay makes it where teams actually have to hold the spawn at all time. If someone messes up and gets off the spawn, you could lose it pretty easy if someone pushes up too far.
I'll just tell my team to get a hill and literally sit in an unpredictable corner and just let people run by us. Like it'll be retarded. Like you have to force gunfights and things like that in hardpoint as of now. But if there's a respawn delay and you actually have time to think and set up and things like that, it'd be stupid.
Yeah.
And I think the Certo actually has a respawn delay on hardpoint. It's got like a 3-second delay.
They probably do, man. Freaking weird stuff going on over there.
Yep.
But I don't know. What? Anybody got some questions in here for the rule set right now? I know we got a lot of people in here. If well, hold on. I just got hit up on Skype by someone. Let's see if they want to.
Oh, I actually want to talk about the CTF respawn delay, how that was changed. I don't really agree with that, to be honest.
Really,
Because
Emily, you're angry at me because you're not modded. Seriously, I don't think you've ever been in this chat, so that's probably why you're not modded. If you say something right now, I will mod you.
The CTF spawn delay is.
yeah,
The thing is, if it wasn't changed, CTF was gonna die.
Well, here's where I mean, a part of me says that we don't know how to play CTF on this game to like the fullest extent yet because the game is new. But think about this: almost every single CTF map that we play, the spawns are so close to the flag. Like standoff, you spawn right on your flag on the one side. If people aren't forcing it, you need to force the spawns to the fullest. Raid, right? You spawn at the laundry and you can look at your flag off the spawn if no one's there, because like that's like the set spawn. Now, if you put the respawn delay to 5, it's just gonna make it harder to pull. You're gonna get 4 down by kitchen, and you're still gonna have to fucking kill them off spawn again. Like there's
Well,
gonna be
CTF is just played way too slow right now. Like you watch CTF scrims, it's like, oh my god.
I think it's gonna be played slower, man.
I just think that you'll see the games will be closer. I think even for a map like Slums is a perfect example, which we're not sure if we're going to keep or not because the way it's played right now. But I want to see it with 5 seconds because you'll see a lot more map control because teams will, when you do kill people off, people will be coming out of their spawn quicker. And I do think you'll see people rotating back to their flags more. So I think you'll see more action on each team's flag.
Is Express a map for UMG CTF Express?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like you know how hard your team is probably gonna have chances are 2 down when you pull the flag. That's if you get 4 down on the other team. You know how hard it is gonna be to pick up cutoffs like that on that
I
map?
think CTF will be a little different. I don't think it's going to be necessarily about getting the flag out just because they have an amount of guys down, but really just getting the flag out because you guys have control with your teammates being able to get up faster. And if you have certain spawn control, like you should be able to get the flag, just get it out, and then not have to worry about them being right there and making them have to not rotate back and overextend to be able to get to you. It should still work the same way. If you have control of the spawns, it's going to be harder. It should be harder, but I think you'll see more action, but less blowouts, I guess. I don't know. I think CTF has been, because it was so slow, like one team that had control kind of just blew the other team out because once you had a flag, it was kind of impossible to get back there. But now with, just for example, like in Modern Warfare 3, you could still overcome a deficit because the game had a lot of action to it. But in this game, like if you notice in CTF, even the kill totals are so low. Like 20
dropping
kills.
30 is almost impossible.
Yeah. I said that I hadn't seen a 30 until I saw Doubt get one yesterday for us. But like 20 is very solid in CTF.
Yeah,
I just think
I don't
that
know.
the way to eliminate that, there'll be more action because you'll have less time when you're down, and you'll see more kills, which will result in more flags going both ways. Really, I mean, if it doesn't work, CTF is going to be gone because it wasn't working with 7.5. Even League Play changed it. That's how you know.
Can the game exist with two game modes, or are we gonna have to replace CTF then? Like that's a good question.
I don't even know. Yeah, it's something that's for a whole nother. We'll see. I think CTF will work like this. I'm excited to see how it plays.
I'm just excited for UMG to freaking get here, honestly. So we can see how everything.
I'm excited to stop talking about rules and
Me too. Me too, man.
I really am. It's always like this though. The first couple months into a game, everybody arguing about what needs to be banned and what doesn't need to be banned.
Do we unban the Kimbo machine pistols if they get nerfed?
we have right now it's just akimbo, but we'll see if they make any changes to akimbo. It would be akimbo in general, so we'll see from there. But Fizz says let's talk about top teams. And Holodoc says let's not talk about rules. So let's talk about a good topic. What's a good topic, Diesel? I know what's on my mind.
What's on your mind? 360 Icons daily tournaments?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm a freaking mind reader, dude.
Let's go ahead. Let's talk about these top teams and personally how just a quick
top team thing. All right.
Like top 5?
No, not even a top 5. Like even just poking in. Like what I've been doing the last while is I sit in and I try to get in on top team scrims, and it seems like teams are so up and down. One day they could be the best team, next day they're bottom of the list. And I want to get Ego's perspective on this and what changes day to day from these teams that's making things just go so topsy turvy.
I can answer that. Ego, go.
Oh, you can go first.
Yeah, go first.
All right. Well, one is the host. Like that's a huge part. If you play a team on your host and then play them off your host, I mean, it could be much more difficult. Another thing is, it's learning. It's like a learning process. Now everyone learns at a different rate. I know when our team started playing this game and we grinded the hell out of it, we wouldn't lose. Like, I'm not even kidding. We weren't losing any of our team scrims against good amateurs. But then as people started learning, it got a lot harder. I mean, it depends on if the team that you're playing is playing well that day or they're communicating well. If they just came off losing a scrim, so they're down on themselves. But I mean, host is a big factor. I mean, it is a little inconsistent on teams that are winning and losing scrims, but that's what scrims are. Scrims are never going to be like consistent. You're never going to have a team just win every fucking team scrim in the game.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Ego?
I totally agree with Nesla said. Like, host does mean a lot more than people realize. But actually, what I'd say almost means as much as host is how people are feeling that day, your mindset, your energy levels. Just like sometimes everybody has bad days just when it comes to shooting. Like, but on top of that, you can be having a bad day at home, or you're tired and have been up for a long time, or all of that affects the way teams play. And sometimes you just get unlucky. Like, that's what's crazy is like
that, and the roster changes like really creates an inconsistency if teams are winning and losing. Like I saw, I think Soar was playing Rambo's team not too long ago, and I think they were losing. I'm not positive, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I2 was winning against Rambo's team like a week ago.
No,
but it's complex now.
Yeah, I've been watching Rambo's team play here and there whenever he's streaming, and I mean they won that what was it what the hell was that site? CGA tournament or whatever to get some stuff paid for UMG, and they beat FaZe and everything in that, which was a pretty decent team, pretty top team. And now I've been watching. They've been playing a lot of AM teams recently in the past couple days, and it seems like they're having a tough time these past.
Dude, the AM teams are where this game is gonna be at right now. I'm telling you. Like, people don't believe me. It's the AM teams that are gonna be running this game for like the next month or so, and then after, like Rambo said, after everybody knows the general way to play the game and how to play correctly, then it's where the pro teams start coming in, or the AM teams start, really dominating.
Yeah, but that normally takes till about the next release of the next Call of Duty.
I mean, the AM teams are hungry.
I really, really enjoy the fact that we're seeing a lot of new players come up in the game and do big things against these name brand teams, and I think it'll be really exciting, especially from like a commentator's point, that you're not just talking about the same 12 guys for 8 hours straight. You're going to be talking about some of these AM teams that are coming up, and hopefully do some great matches to provide the entertainment that we need.
There's some AM teams out there that they're hungry, dude. Like I didn't see it in MW3, even in Black Ops. Like, they're staying together for the most part. Like I2, they were hungry. They grinded a lot. My team were hungry. We grinded a lot. Same with Clockwork. And like these aren't teams that, I mean, other than I2's roster change, like these teams are been together for like a decent amount of time too, which is something an AM team's not really used to. So
there's a lot more teams, there's a lot more depth on all the teams. Like, so I'm really excited for the timing of our tournaments, and just even Frag Cup top 32 was awesome. There was just so much talent all over the place. Like the matchups were great. There's so many teams out there who are starting to have the right mentality of like, we can go get it. There's so many people out there that play. I guarantee you there's at least a handful of two of teams that go out and play pubs or played on Call of Duty Elite that are honestly, no offense to anybody, but just as good as some of these top teams if they actually went out there and just grinded their ass off for a couple months and learned the difference when it comes to like actual talent and just gun skill. I guarantee you there's so many people out there that can play. And like I said, there's luck involved in Call of Duty, and a lot of it is mindset. If you have a strong mind, like it goes a long way. You can't be getting down on yourself and down on your teammates. That shit kills you.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Think about it.
Proof sounded like he's 100 miles away.
I know.
Hello.
Meet your stream, Proof.
What's up? Oh, I did.
All
Pretty sure I did. Maybe you
There we
just hear you guys talking. I don't know. But what is up?
You know what we're talking about. So we're gonna. Neslo's about to say something, then we can just. It's how it is. It's free range. You just chime in whenever you want.
Okay.
I was pretty much gonna say like, think about the top quote unquote AM teams in MW3. It was Donut Shop, and then at the end it was I2. Like other than that, who stood together and actually like made progress in the amateur community? Like think about it like that. Think about how many like more teams there are now in Black Ops 2 doing that.
Well, I know. I mean, I haven't been paying attention to it so much because I've been busy with a lot of stuff. But in Modern Warfare 3, it seemed like the AM teams, the roster change. There'd be roster changes to I would say 95% of the AM teams once a week, at least. And I don't know if it's still that way in Black Ops 2 right now.
It is a little bit.
It is
like
a little bit,
Hex P dropped somebody. I2 Complex joined a different team, and yeah. Like I mean,
I don't mind seeing teams make like a one-person roster changes as long as they're keeping their team name, like keeping that brand, and they're still moving forward. It's not that big of a deal. Every team kind of you have a guy here that just you're trying to fill that last spot. So as long as they're keeping their team name and really building their brand and kind of have the same core, I don't really see a problem with it, to be honest.
Mhm.
But what did you want to come in here and talk about, Proofy?
I'm not sure if we're going to UMG Chicago.
What?
Yeah, that's undecided at the moment due to like the so late notice of foreplay. Flights have like skyrocketed, and it's just seeing if it's in the budget still, and if it's still something we want to do, and if we feel confident in winning with a new fourth for that event.
Have you even found a new fourth yet?
Yeah, we ended up playing with Doug, and we ended up playing really well. We scrimmed Rambo's team, I think 6-3'd them in map counts. I mean, that's a big improvement for us considering we couldn't win a HP to save our lives. Like literally, if you said I'm gonna shoot you in this face if you don't win this map, we would all be dead right now because we would not win that map.
What the fuck?
That's how bad we were.
Dude, you guys gotta come to UMG. You cannot show up. You can't not show up. How about that?
I know. I mean, I want to. I want to go out there just to play on LAN and experience LAN on this game for the most part. I mean,
it's
even
fun.
though even if we don't place well, I kind of want to be able to get a feel for it and not be like the most like unfamiliar team with how this game plays.
It's the first big LAN, and a lot of the top teams are gonna be there. You got Complexity, Rambo's team showing up. You got Optics going, freaking
Is Fear
going.
I think FaZe going too.
Fear's
I'm not
going,
sure.
FaZe is going. I mean, and then a bunch of top AM teams are going as well. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty decent
Freako's
tournament.
going.
Freako's going. Yeah.
Freako's going too.
I mean,
that's what I mean.
I mean, there's gonna be, I would say, at least 40 teams there probably.
I'm saying there'll be at least 40 teams there as well. My team will be there. Doesn't mean much, but
Ego swooped up Ricky.
Yeah. What's up with that? Is that gonna be the official Fear roster with Dito?
It's looking that way.
Does anybody know what happened and why they dropped?
I don't know.
That's for APOC to say if he wants to announce it sometime.
I'm just curious.
We were scrimming with Dito against I don't remember the team we were playing, but we're
against us.
you guys. We're scrimming you guys, and we play like 3 maps, and then Dito disappears, and we're like, all right, hold on, guys. I don't know where he went. We're gonna invite him back. And then we see a tweet from Sharp like 5 minutes later. It's like, our official team pickup is Dito. And we're like, all right, there we go. We know where Dito went.
That shit was funny.
Oh man, you got ganked.
And we all are just literally cracking up in the lobby. Paul started laughing. I'm like, are you laughing at what I think you're laughing about? Kid just straight dipped, didn't say a word, and then we find out from Sharp's Twitter he's on their team. We're like, oh, okay, we'll get a new fourth then. Try to find someone else to run with for now.
That shit is funny because it happens so often that, I think people are past getting mad about it. They're just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just don't see why people can't be upfront about stuff. It's like people are timid to tell the truth to people. I don't see why that's a problem. It's like when you're upfront to someone about something. I mean, there's a lot less drama that stems from it than if you freaking just make a decision without at least confronting them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's how it is, man.
It's
annoying. I don't know why. COD community, BRB, gonna go out, appearing offline, start scrims.
Oh,
Sketch.
It's like
sketch.
Yo, guys, I'm going out tonight. You appear offline. You go play like fucking TDM pubs or something that no one else is playing.
And then when you ask them where they're going, they get defensive. You don't need to know about my fucking life. Are you in my shoes?
There are a lot of socially awkward people in this community, but I mean, I guess it comes with the territory. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah.
Nothing. So you want to talk about my topic that
yeah, we could actually talk about that. We can end the show. We can talk about the daily tournaments.
It won't take long.
Afterward. Yeah, this won't take too long, but Holiday Doc did bring up a topic that he wanted to talk about tonight, and now since we got Ego and we got Proofy, we got Neslo in here, now I think it'd be a good time to bring that topic up and see what you guys think about it.
So, right when UMG was kind of announced, and over the last the last month, I guess I could say, there's been, some teams and players that, I feel like only support the game if they're having their own way supported for them. And I guess how I can explain it is no one wants to put forth their own money and investment anymore into going to events, it seems like. And to me, from the outside looking in, it feels like the team, well, not all teams, but some teams are just doing it for the money now. And the lack of having fun at events is kind of slowly going away. Because if some of these teams aren't able to get sponsorship or full rides to events, a lot of them are like, nah, we'll just not go. And, I had no idea you were going to come on the show and say your team was not going there, Proof, but, or possibly not going, but, it just seems
and it's
like...
it's not because, it's just the funding would be just way more expensive because it's around the holidays and such short notice. We didn't expect Sky to not be able to go, and that was the big thing that kind of messed it up for us in such short time. The day we found out he couldn't go was the last day of registration, so we said, all right, let's buy a team pass and see what's gonna and just go from there and see if we actually can make this work or not. I mean, we want to compete and we want to be able to just be able to support the game and play the game,
Yeah,
and,
no doubt.
That's the biggest thing for us. I mean, and I know we're not talking about the rules anymore, but I'm all for whatever rules you want to test out. I see no harm in it. I mean, test them out. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, then there you go. We're making progress. But
yeah, but see, the problem with that is we can't be testing rules out 5 months down the line.
No, yeah, I agree.
This shit needs to be done.
There needs to be a rule, yeah.
Rule set. First week of January, this shit needs to be finalized, and we need to move on from this because we're spending way too much time and effort into these rules.
That's why I don't see why we haven't been grinding rule sets out as a community. With all this time we've had, why haven't we just been grinding different?
I mean, we kind of are though.
Yeah, but
that's when you that then.
Even just scrimming is testing though. It really is.
But I've been scrimming the same rule sets for so long because of the tournaments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the base. Pretty much base out of the box rule set almost. Like what we came up with for Frag Cup, and we want to stay by that rule set as much as possible. And the most recent changes we made were just kind of based on only on those scrims, and that's what we're going to base everything on. Is how people are feeling playing the current rule set. It's not like we want to go and try all these different things. We want to stay as much out of the box as possible And
I think
change anything that
definitely the
everyone
banning
feels
of the
like
hard
they
line
can.
is a great start, great good push. I want to see how that plays out. I mean, my team's like getting on today, but I'm gonna be filling in for scrims just because I want to see how that plays out now with like no hard line. That could be good. I mean, orbital VSATs were incredibly easy to achieve, especially if you get like 4 kills while defending an HP, and if you captured it, you got an orbital VSAT that quick. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like the hardline ban. I mean, we'll see how that plays out.
All right, let's talk about what Holiday Doc said.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, what she said is true. There's no doubt that it's not true, but there's a couple things you got to look at in different perspectives. Is one, is it profitable for somebody to go? Now, what I mean
Why
by
does it
that,
have to be profitable? Why can't people go to a gaming event like people go to, concerts? It's like some people
well, I
fly
mean, some
or
people make
drive to.
some people, I'm not saying Rambo makes a living off tournament winnings because that is like where a small part of his income probably comes from compared to
Yeah.
Twitch and YouTube and stuff. But think about it. If Optic wasn't covered, do you think Optic would have been going to EGL last year? No. It's not worth it. Like
Yeah,
another
but
thing.
they
How
worked.
can you say it's
They
not worth
worked
it if
to
they
do
went
that
through?
though. Like it's not like they just freaking randomly popped up someday and was like, oh, we got full sponsorship to this stuff.
It's not all about not being worth it, but I understand at times because a lot of it does come down to, like, I'm sure for a lot of the people is that would want to go just to have a good time knowing they can't win is really, can they afford it? And like that's honestly the way you got to look at it, Doc. Even though it does, some people do. There are a good select few teams out there of the higher standard that might be able to afford it and kind of won't go just because
Yeah.
they know they're going to lose. But in the end, when it comes down to, I hope
Mhm.
a higher percentage of the community is the people who don't go are really the people who can't afford to go. Because I know that
Oh
I
yeah,
put
I
money out
mean,
there to go to lots of different
Yeah,
events, and
like
I know
majority of
everyone
our
knows it's a good
community
time.
is majority of our
is young.
community are young, so I mean they're more than likely unemployed as well, and would have to use their parents to get there.
Fwiz definitely said the right thing when he was on the show last week. It's like they have no disposable income. You know, it's like you're going to your parents to ask for a
Yeah.
grand to go to an event that
If
they
you don't
really
come home
don't
with anything,
understand. Yeah,
if
I mean, it's like it's different when you're spending money to travel for like sports and stuff because I mean, I've brought it up before. That's like the social norm. It's not exactly normal yet to frickin' spend thousands of dollars to travel across the country to
well,
play video games.
another thing is like, let's say my team or just an amateur team, right? MLG events around the corner, and they have the attitude we're not gonna go unless we're fully paid for. One thing that tells me there's only two options: either your team can't afford to go, or like a player can't afford to go, or you don't believe you're gonna win or have a shot at winning. Like, like that's what I feel like a lot of the amateur teams that feel like they deserve to be paid for to go into the events. Like if you
Yeah.
won't go under your own cash, that means you don't have faith in your opportunity or chance to even winning the event.
Which means you don't deserve a sponsor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
that's a big
like, even like New Breed lost a member 2 weeks ago, and we were trying to find a fourth to go to UMG, and we had our hotel sponsored, paid for. We had our jerseys, team pass, everything was paid for. All that needed to be paid for was the flight or the bus or whatever. And when we were contacting a lot of these players, like single players that were free agents, the number one thing was, well, I'll play with you, but you guys got to buy my flight. And I know for a fact that some of the guys we contacted could very well buy their flight. They just didn't want to, right?
because
So
they don't
Mhm.
have faith that you guys are going to win that event. Like that's what I feel like their perspective is.
true, but it's LAN experience. It's the first LAN experience. They don't have a team. You're better off finding a team after you've got LAN experience than no LAN experience at all.
True that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but how
this
many
is
people how old are you, Doc? I mean, I don't know offhand, but I know you're older.
27.
All right, how many
Damn,
people?
you're
How
old.
many kids in our community have an
I
intelligent
honestly,
mindset the way you look at that?
you know what I want to see?
Mhm.
I want to see more parents at the event so they can be a lot more supportive of what their kids are actually doing. I mean, my mom had no clue about it, but she's still like really supportive of it. And then when she actually went, she just became that more of a fan of like MLG and like COD and competitive COD and what it does.
because it's legit. Like
Yeah, I mean,
parents don't
I just
understand
wish
that.
more parents would go out to events and actually check
Which
it
is
out for
the main
themselves.
problem,
Yeah.
is that parents don't understand
They don't have
it,
the
and
awareness.
yeah. I
It's
mean, like I said, it's not the social norm. Parents will go to sporting events, but not many parents show up to gaming events.
like I'll tell my mom that this is just hypothetical that I'm going to an MLG event. I'm not going, to Chicago to play in a fucking warehouse. Like I'm going to a venue. I'm going to an actual event hosted by an actual organization and company.
Like I remember when I told my parents, I'm like, yo, I'm driving to Dallas, which is like an 8-hour drive. I'm like, I'm driving down there to frickin' go to this MLG event and coach a team, and they're like, what? They're like, why? Why are you doing that? I'm like, why?
Just tell us you're on drugs. Just tell us you're on drugs.
Yeah, exactly right. I was like, why? Because I love gaming and I'm going there because I want to. They're like, okay, that's okay.
I'll bear back 1 minute.
They were just like, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, but now they understand it. It took them a year, but I mean, now they understand. But I mean, that's just what I mean. People don't understand it.
You got to get the awareness out. I mean, I was at the pro draft. I think it was Ego was talking to whose dad was it? Method's dad maybe? Might have been Method's dad. I mean, he pretty much broke it down because Method's dad was talking about, my son wants me to fly him to Chicago and things like that. And he's like, is it worth it? Is there an actual future in this? And then Ego broke it down to him, told him what he thought about it. But like, that's one parent out of how many players?
Well,
there's got to be some way.
Sharp's dad is one of those guys that showed up to every event, man.
Oh yeah, but just the awareness overall, the parents don't see it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I actually like being able. The main thing I do whenever I approach a parent or when someone asks me like, how do I convince my mom to let me do this or do that, I just say, show her videos of like events and show her like MOG's website and what events they have and their little sweet little montages they do of like recaps of how the event went. And I mean that's what really did it for my mom. When she saw that, she was like, oh, so it's not like you're just going to some random place to show some random guy and stuff like that. And like I'm like, no, what the fuck? So I tell my mom.
It's a tournament.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tournament. I'm not going there with fucking strangers who are gonna kill me. Like, that was like the first thing she would think.
On its skin.
That's the first thing she would think is like, well, I don't want you getting hurt or anything happen. I'm like, Mom, like it's a video game tournament. Like, what do you think they do there?
That's because people relate violence with video games, and it honestly pisses me off.
Oh my God!
Let's not talk about this.
Yeah. Okay, end of the show. Thank you very much. See you guys later.
No, I wasn't even talking about that.
We should talk about the Moho incident. Yeah, we should honestly do it. It's funny.
Yeah, what Moho incident?
All right. A website, I don't know the full extent of the story, but a website published an article about the shooter of the Newtown school and how he was influenced from video games or something like that. And on the article was a picture of Moho. It was Moho looking at a screen, and it just had a shirt like on his back, and it said Moho on his back.
What?
And he said it was mad misleading, and he like spread the word. I think they took it down though. I'm not positive.
They did. I went to look at it today because I heard about it. Yeah, fuck that. That's messed up.
Moho
getting
that's fucked up.
Getting that free publicity. What?
That's not the kind of publicity I think you want.
I wonder what.
It just bothers me, like how they can actually like.
Just do that.
That bothers me so much that they think video games has a
yeah.
It's like people away from it.
It's like I have never.
Hey guys,
had
that
one
football
thought
player killed people at the football stadium. We should ban football.
Right?
Football is very violent.
Yeah. He must have been playing Call of Duty though. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, dude, you can play it on the PS Vita now, dude. It goes portable. Like, let's go.
Oh my God.
I just got fucking crossbowed. I'm about to go start a rampage.
Actually, I'm about to start a rampage, dude. A lot of people use those crossbows in pubs now. They're fucking annoying.
The most violent thing I do from video game is fucking press my goddamn power button when I get pissed.
I don't want to make a whole
right?
topic about it.
And then after that, I just go chill and watch TV or something. I'm like, all right.
But if people think that video games influence people, like violent video games influence people in real life, then those people need help. It's not the video game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's millions of people that play Call of Duty. Not millions of people are gonna go out and shoot up a school.
They completely rule out the fact that he had
the guy's
Asperger's.
psycho. Yeah,
it was COD. It was zombies.
That's retarded.
I'm telling you, man, I am not leaving my goddamn house on the 21st because I don't want some idiot being like, the world's ending, and going on a fucking rampage.
Yeah, dude, I forgot about that. I made plans for Friday night. I think I'm about to cancel them.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go crazy.
Great time to update their servers.
I'm alright with that. I'm not dealing with fucking retards that want to just shoot up places because the world's supposedly ending.
Because of Gundam style.
The world's ending. Let me grab a pistol and start shooting.
Oh shit.
It just doesn't make sense to me, and it bothers me.
Well, I think that was a good show.
Yeah. I mean, let's get into 360 icons and the daily tournaments and their new ranking system and the credits and all of that good stuff, because Ego's been pushing for this for a while now, and I think it's finally starting to get off the ground. So I'm gonna let him start it off just by explaining what's all going down.
Oh man, I feel like I've explained this a million times,
Yeah,
and
well,
even
now
though
you need to explain it again, dude. People have
I can't
short-term
lie, it
memory.
is one of my favorite topics. I do love answering questions about it, but I will break it down a little bit and try and answer as many questions as I can. A while ago, we put out a daily tournament schedule. One of the main reasons I got really into doing this was, as a player, I was trying to play and be able to make money to the point where, like, I don't want to say it was different for me. I don't want to say my mom wouldn't be like, go get a job at McDonald's because they'll pay you more than video games. But that's how I looked at it. Is really when I was playing COD 4, World at War, or whatever, you could make more money working at McDonald's than you could playing Call of Duty. And one of the main reasons we started the site was to try and give players, an opportunity to make money daily or make enough money weekly where they could feel like they were getting a paycheck at least equivalent to, like, to at least start out as a minimum wage job. You know what I mean? Like, because right now it's basically a sweatshop. So we're trying to at least get it to
It's worse than a sweatshop.
a minimum wage job. But
Yeah.
with the daily tournaments, we're still gonna have all of our, not all of our. We had one free tournament before, but we're still gonna have multiple free tournaments. I'll actually bring up the schedule and really break it down for you guys because I'm just that nice of a guy. Some days we're gonna have 2 tournaments, so that's crazy. So you're looking at more than 7 tournaments a week, just straight from us.
Yo.
On Monday, we're gonna have, and actually before I get into the whole schedule, I want to explain our paid tournaments. People are like, "Oh, why are you doing some paid tournaments now? We love free tournaments." So yeah, everyone loves free tournaments. I get it. Everybody likes everything that's free, but our free tournaments are really gonna be more aimed at, like, amateur players and newer teams and newer players who are trying to come up, really not playing as much for making that $40 as they are to actually build chemistry with their team, build confidence, and being able to play at that higher level. And our paid tournaments will be more aimed at the teams who are confident, the pro teams who want to go out there and be able to make money on a daily playing. On Mondays, we'll have a free tournament. Or I'm sorry, on Monday, we'll have a paid tournament. The paid tournaments are capped at 32 teams. We're giving away 80% of the prize pool, which is compared to GB or some local lands that I'm pretty sure they give away between, let's say between 40 to 60% of the prize pool. On Tuesday, we're going to have that same thing. We're going to have that 32 team paid entry that I just talked about. That's going to happen 4 days a week. It's going to happen on Monday, on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Friday. Okay. And then on Tuesday, on top of that paid tournament, we're going to have a free entry 2v2 tournament that's going to be capped somewhere between 64 and 128 teams. On Wednesday, we're going to have a free entry tournament that we're calling Wildcard Wednesday. It's going to just kind of be a mix-up of different things the community wants. Maybe it'll be S&D only one week. Maybe it'll be Hardpoint only the other week. Maybe it'll be some fucking random whatever, zombies, anything you guys can think of, anything that people want to see, anything that people want to play. That's what we're using Wednesdays for. On Thursdays, it's the back same thing as Monday, just that one that one paid entry tournament that's going to feature the pro teams. On Friday, we're going to have a free-for-all tournament as well as our paid tournament. The free-for-all tournament is free entry. It pays the top 4 people. Saturday, we're still sticking to like what we've classically had on Saturdays, somewhere between 256 to 512 teams, free entry. And Sunday, I believe we're going to actually focus on trying to do something for snipers on Sunday. So that's 7 days a week with 2 days that have 2 tournaments. So you're looking at 9 tournaments a week, free and paid entry. 80% prize pool goes out on the paid entry ones. We'll be streaming them all. They're literally going to be every day. It's not like it's going to be some Saturdays. It's going to be every Saturday, every Monday. So teams will actually be able to get on a daily schedule for when they know they're going to play. We're really trying to turn those paid entry tournaments into like a reason for teams to kind of play more competitive scrims. That's really it. If anyone has questions on it,
Someone already asked. What about host booters?
I mean, that's just something that's a hard question to ask. It's something we're going to deal with. We're going to do our best job, period. The staff's going to do everything we can. We're going to look into it. We're going to ban anyone. Like, if there's just like a situation, like at the beginning, it might be hard. You might have a situation where a guy gets away with it for a match. It's gonna happen. It's people get screwed sometimes. It's happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens more than we'll start seeing which players and which teams are doing it, and we'll hold them accountable for it.
What about commentating of matches? Is that going to be happening or what?
I'm working on it. I don't know about every single day if we'll have a commentator for every day.
No, I mean that'd be hard and draining for whoever would be willing
That's
to
a
do the
lot of
commentating.
work.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, only
every
on the
day.
Friday one would be like a good idea, just to have the end of the week, the last daily
Like a
tournament
weekly
being.
warfare.
Yeah, the last daily tournament of the week gets commentated and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Good as commentators are, people like listening a lot. People like to hear the players.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you do it that, you can't have people on stream going, "Oh, this fucking faggot, this queer, this," and
I know.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't look good sometimes.
We'll definitely have Revan and Rambo on for sure. I'm sure Golden Boy will jump on when he can. I'll see what Wisdom Hastro can do. And we'll have different guests, different people talking on the stream.
Have you guys like down the road ever thought of putting in a league?
We have a league system that's being worked on right now that Rambo and Ice were working on together. It's still more down the road, but it's definitely something that's pretty interesting. And
Scully has one going on. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like a once a week match, and then at the end of the like 2 month to 3 month period, there's a playoffs.
Yeah, ours is really in depth. Well, I mean, we are going to have ladders also. We have 5. Like right now, I have 5 ladders set up. They're all going to be free entry. The ladders probably won't start until like I'm pretty sure January 1st is going to be the start date for the ladders. But we basically like to start out for like someone like Proofy would be looking at. We have a competitive 44 ladder. It's free to enter, just like any other normal ladder, except we're going to have at least $1,000 in prizes, and that's straight out of my pocket, just so people have a reason to play on that ladder.
I'll tell you what.
I appreciate it, Paul.
If you if you guys don't do this like half-ass, which I don't think you do because that's not what you're about, GB is gonna have some serious rival like going on. Like I could see already, like a lot of the top players might not play GB anymore as much. They might just start playing 360 Icons tournaments.
It's all gonna depend on the first couple months. Like if you can consistently keep getting that money out a week after the winning, like the week after they win it. I mean, it's all about it's all like this first couple months you're gonna have to build the credibility of your new tournament system.
Technical support's a huge thing, and also, wait, did you guys hear about GB supposedly pays out in a week now? Is that true?
Yeah, you got to sign up on some third-party site though somewhere. I forget. Fizzerb tweeted it out yesterday or the day before. I forget the name of the site, but like you have to like sign up on this site, and then you're supposed to get your money like 8 days after.
I think you have to give them your social security number and bank account and all that, but it's a secure site. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that we are going to be paying every tournament. This is how it's worked. Monday you play in a tournament, right? And when that tournament ends, that same tournament's going to go up for next week. So every tournament will have 7 days in advance to register, and every tournament will be paid out within 7 days. So if you win Monday's tournament, that next Monday you will get paid, and that tournament will be registered for 7 days.
Ooh, I got a good question. Just like GB, if you win a tournament and don't want to take the money, can you get icons, points, or credits, or whatever it is?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna do that. I don't think we'll get as much love on that as GB does. Because actually, it's hard to tell. A lot of people take credits on GB because you can't get your money fast.
Exactly.
which is great for business, but it's just like not good from a player standpoint. But what we're actually doing with some of our stuff is especially for our free entry stuff, is we're not putting out. I don't want to say we're not putting out as much money because it's still the same value. But for example, like before like a free entry tournament, it would be like cash prizes for first and second. We'll probably be doing like lots of credits for second place instead of cash.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like winning free tournaments will get you into paid tournaments. They're almost like satellites in poker, if anyone's ever played poker.
And just for the viewers, like how much are we talking about to get into the paid tournaments, or how much we win?
That's another thing I was really, really, really big upon. And it will change up, and we will throw different things out there. But you could look at paid entry tournaments as small as a $1 to a $5 entry fee, and as big as a $25 or $50 entry fee per player. So like you're talking about if say a team entry is $5, it's like $1.25 per player. And for stuff like that, we might guarantee a little extra in the prize, like credits and stuff like that. But at least you're getting familiar with people playing at that high enough level where, like, you know what, maybe Optic's not in this paid tournament, but it's still a paid tournament, and there's still a good enough prize, and we're playing more with people at our level.
All right.
And as for how much it's gonna pay out, like all the paid tournaments will be 80% of the prize pool.
Yeah.
So it depends on how many teams play in the tournaments.
Yep.
Yeah, which based on our history and based on all the support, I think, from teams like Envy and Optic and all those teams, as long as all the pro teams are in there and the competition's as high as it can be, I think that we should be able to sustain 16 to 32 teams for every day.
Yeah, the next time you guys make a rules change or whatever, just remind me to don't say shit on Twitter.
Why? What did you say that you liked or disliked that people were against?
I just said, like, you know, people are trying to help, and if we just stay closed-minded and not even like want to at least attempt to do like these rules change, then we won't grow. And I just got so much shit for it. And then I got this. I don't even know who this guy is. This Gage kid. I like had the block.
Oh my God!
Dude.
Don't even say his name.
Mention his name.
Like he compared a banana and football, and I was done.
Dude, do not mention that guy's name. That guy
is a psychopath.
Dude, his name keeps getting brought up though, and it's fucking annoying. But
he wants attention, but that's.
Hey, is he going to UMG? Because I heard the first LAN event he was gonna play his top 3 and be pro.
Dude.
He doesn't have a team to play for the event. Pick him up for New Breed, bro.
Fuck.
Did you pick up Rec over there?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we took Rec.
Rec is raw.
Yeah,
Rec is raw, yo.
He's a beast. He was shitting on us yesterday.
Yeah, Rec is a good player. So.
I can tell you one thing though. This game is definitely a game that I admire. Kind of like I admired COD 4. Like I constantly play it. I like it. You know, even 8s are fun. Like I haven't had a game where playing 8s was fun. So that is something I guess I could be excited for. The drive to actually want to play COD all the time again.
Yeah, no, I actually enjoy playing this game, and I haven't really enjoyed playing a COD game since COD 4 either. So
yeah, it's just good. It's a good feeling, man.
I know, it's finally a game that it's like you have that itch to play it at all times. Like I haven't actually had that since COD 4, and that's COD 4 is the main reason I got my original Xbox like destroyed, but that's for another time and place. So yeah.
That's funny, bro. That's funny.
I was one of those kids that was in his room freaking 14 hours a day fucking playing Call of Duty 4, but
does anyone in the chat have any questions about any of the daily stuff, any of the credit system? The price.
Let's have a Q&A session for Paul here.
The prices on our credits aren't. I think there was some kind of topic on the forums that, to be honest, I really didn't understand it because I came up with the credit system.
That's because you have a small brain.
And like, if someone wants to look at it, that lists the current prices and what the best updated current prices are. I don't really know. I think I actually lowballed.
That link doesn't work.
Pretty bad. That link should work.
I got a question.
I had to click it like 5 times.
Paul, you should make a top 10 prediction for UMG. Just saying.
Well,
he doesn't want to jinx 10 teams from winning. No, but
I like it. Yeah. My team is honorable mentions for sure.
I'll pick that 11 team. But now what rule set are you using for these tournaments and stuff? Is it the UMG rules as of now?
Well, me and Emily work together on everything. So like our rules and UMG rules are the exact same.
Okay.
So yeah, actually the credit system is updated.
Yeah, we actually have Marky B in the chat right now. He said, "Paul, you got to give us a European host tournament here and there."
I'll touch that in a second. I put a link in the chat also that if you're logged into your Icons account, you can see exactly what the credit prices are. You basically get a credit for $1. If you buy a higher package, you get free credits basically, but the lowest package is 8 credits for $8, which is a pretty solid deal, I think. Especially, I think on GB you get 7 credits for like $30 or something like that.
Oh,
but I don't want to compare. We're not the same system as them at all. They're owned by MLG. They've got a lot more to deal with. But I think our prices are awesome, to be honest, especially if you buy the bigger bundles, if you plan on playing in multiple tournaments. But even if you just want to play in one tournament, to be able to play for $8, it's pretty cheap.
Also, I heard about this 360 Icons XP system or something. Does that go into the daily tournaments too?
Oh yeah. So also the other thing that Ice had worked with, and we have some more stuff coming out too that's not done yet, which I think will make people happy. But as of right now, and before, our brackets were so random, and especially in the bigger tournaments, and especially in the paid tournament too. Like randomness, like Rambo always preaches, randomness is not a good thing. There should be seating, and we want to be consistent. So as of right now, if basically if you've played on our site for a while, you are favored a little bit, which we are figuring out ways that'll make it a little better. And like I said, I think those smaller entry tournaments will help out those teams who are just starting out trying to build some XP up. And the free entry tournaments actually will help you build XP up as well. But say us four sign up for a tournament, and as let's say it's like me, you, Doc, and Proofy, are basically you'll take all of our XP and combine it together and divide it by 4, and that's whatever our number is, and is basically your average XP for the team,
So
and that's
is ICN rank getting wiped?
ICN rank is not getting wiped. So like yeah, Rambo's team is probably going to be the first seed a lot. But it'll be
So what happens to? Oh, never mind. Just go ahead. I was gonna start a big, long, complicated question, but I'll just leave it.
No, go ahead.
Ask it.
Honestly, like
I can't. End up asking it down the
I'm
line,
always open to feedback, and it could be something that can help us fix an issue and stuff like that. I love hearing anything that could make anything better for anybody.
I literally can't.
Why you laugh at that, Jordan? You don't even have to stay the whole time.
No balls.
I didn't laugh at you.
Yeah,
I'm
no
laughing
balls.
at the irony
No balls,
of this.
Josh. No
I'm
balls.
laughing at the irony of this like Twitch account. his Twitch name is I love content, and he's like, all these people are fucking nerds. Go outside, you fat bastards. And his Twitch name is I love content.
Dude, at UMG NJ I think it was NJ, we were waiting outside and some dude rode a bike across like where the venue was, and he's like, "You're all fucking nerds. Get some exercise or something like that." It was nuts. I swear to God.
It's too bad somebody didn't take a stick and throw it in his spokes.
I know.
Someone had like just an apple or something.
Oh man. So let's get back. Josh, you gonna ask your question, or are we gonna let Ego?
No,
go
I'll
on?
save it. I'll save it.
All right. I don't know what you're saving it for, but Ego, go on with what you were saying.
Somebody in the chat said, "What is wrong with is that the lower option gives you more credits for your dollar?" No, it doesn't.
What?
It's the lower option gives you $1 per credit, and every single other one you get more credits than you pay dollars.
Money.
If you spend $100 on 100 credits, you get 50 free credits, which is basically us giving out 50 free dollars towards prize pool.
Why do like tournament holders have credits? Why don't they just say $5 for this tournament pay?
Because
it's like Virgin Gaming.
It's all about a lot of it. I think is legalities because like there's a fine line between online gambling and a skills competition. And that's what this is considered as a skills competition. You're buying the credits. You're not buying your entry, and you could use the credits for different things. Like you might be able to buy something from our store with credits. So you're paying for these fake points on our site, and just happen to be able to use entry into skill competition with these fake points, compared to where if you were entering with real dollars, I think
because I know Virgin Gaming, like you can't actually play or like bet on Virgin Gaming's site if you're in certain states like Florida or Arizona and stuff like that. Because every state has its own gambling laws.
Get the money matches going.
People are still wondering about the EU. They're asking questions.
We'll definitely try and do as many EU tournaments as we can. I know a lot of those guys at DeSoto. Emo on esports is an awesome dude, and the whole community, the EU community, is very, very strong-minded. The rules are different, so that you might see some type of issue there. I don't know how I feel about running like a DeSoto ruled tournament for EU, but I'm guessing that's what they would want, so that's what we would most likely end up doing. Even though I'm not fully supportive with them being.
I feel like you shouldn't budge there. I feel like you honestly shouldn't give them that. To be honest, you should force them to play our rule set.
To be honest, though, it affects it some, but if that's what they want, then like you can't really force them to play our rule set. If they really want to be on their own and have their separate way and fight that fight, as just their community, that's their call. I just think from my standpoint, I'm kind of in the same situation, except on the NA side, I want to really kind of be on the same page as much of the community as possible.
Gotcha, bro.
Well, we need. Do you think a forum will ever be possible to be made for COD, or is Twitter gonna forever be our fucking public forum?
Did I miss the GB forums, man?
It's up to us though. At the same time, like you
Like,
have the 360 icons forum.
My forums have
You have-
300,000 posts on them and 80,000 members. There are people on our forums talking about everything that needs to be talked about. It's just
to help that grow, man.
it's the pro community, and a lot of people like Rambo, Revan, and Nadeshot have tried to have sat there and made 1 or 2 threads on interesting topics, but that consistency needs to be there. We actually also, I'm pretty sure, just created a pro forum also, Proofy, that I'll be able to talk to all the pros about some, where it'll basically, I believe, be an open forum where everybody can read it, but it will only kind of be able to be the pros throwing their input out there on certain important topics. Obviously, there'll be open topics in other areas. So say something like we have some kind of rule forum out there, like, I'm going to use MW3 as an example. Ban Type 95, we had an open poll on that, and there was thousands of people talking in it and voting on it. And we'll also have stuff like that where it won't be as many people talking about it, but it will be kind of an exclusive group of pros being able to voice their opinion and other people still being able to see it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm definitely gonna start posting on the forums then, because I want to see like a public forum where we all can just talk about what we want to talk about, like topics that relate to COD, instead of seeing on Twitter constantly. It just always breaks into like a big argument somehow, and it's all over my feed every time on Twitter.
It's a convenience thing. Like Twitter's just so convenient.
Yeah.
Everyone sees it. You don't.
Like going back to the forums would just be. I mean, it would be better for this community, but at the same time, it would be extremely difficult. It would take collectively all of you guys with 10,000 followers or more, which is most of you pros, to seriously stop going to Twitter to post stuff, and all of you need to go to some sort of.
Yeah, all needs to just develop.
You can use Twitter. You can use Twitter to push people to threads too, especially for
Yo, Paul, can I see a 360 icon app in the near future?
A 360 icon what? Map?
App.
Oh. We have been working on a desktop app, which hopefully will be able to be created into a mobile app also. I know that our site actually works pretty well on just a mobile browser right now. It's not that awful.
That'd be so sick.
I know people that use Internet Explorer on their Xbox to send people invites and stuff like that and make their teams. And I know people who use their phones, but we have a desktop app that has been worked on slightly. That's pretty awesome, and I would love to take it mobile also. But there's just other things that are priorities right now. Obviously, our main priority is making sure these daily tournaments work out well. And a lot of the players and teams need to realize people might think if the tournaments don't work out, that hurts me. No, if the tournaments don't work out, that hurts everybody else. Because if the tournaments work out, a lot of people who know how it works will be able to do more and give more and make bigger and better things. If they don't work out, then we're in a fucking corner, bent over.
So when is this first? When's the first tourney starting? When is this all starting? Next week?
Oh, I just seen an overlay in the chat, so I don't know to answer this question. I think what we just said is that the daily, every single day tournaments is going to start Monday the 24th, so the day after UMG.
Okay. Wait, what? No, Monday the 24th is next week.
Oh yeah, all right. So maybe that's the week.
So the 31st.
You should start
Monday
the
31st.
It's overlays in the chat, so he can kind of correct me if I'm wrong. But like I said to him, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you just start him tomorrow" and stuff like that. I don't mind. I kind of like the idea of waiting until New Year's. So Monday the 31st is a great starting point in my opinion. It should be right around there. I don't see us starting before UMG because then we'd have to cut out for Saturday and Sunday. So I would say Monday the 31st is a pretty strong date for us to be live every day with tournaments every day and ladders every day.
There you go.
I think the daily tournaments will be awesome. That means I'll be gaming 7 days a week.
Nerd.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be grinding.
That'll be actually sick.
Yeah, the 24th is the day before Christmas. That's it. I don't know what weird thing. It's Monday the 31st. Will 100% be it.
Damn, that means I'm gonna get home from UMG, think about laying down in my bed, but nah, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna grind.
Oh wow. Well, I want to say something real quick. I have been toying around with the idea to possibly begin the Weekly Rant EU edition, where it'll be tailored towards the EU community. I will not be hosting it myself because it will have to be earlier in the day so that you guys actually have a show to watch. Because I know a lot of the EU people have to get to sleep and stuff because it's like 2 in the morning there right now or something like that. So I'm just toying around with the idea. I want to get some feedback on it, what you guys think about it, and what possible hosts, if any EU people are in here right now, that you would want to see on there. And I'll see if I can make it happen. It's just something I'm toying around with, so we'll see if it works out.
APOC, not.
APOC.
He's League of Legends now. Somebody said Rel.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot of
one last
Rel.
question.
What's up?
Let's say CTF stays like boring. I mean, we can all agree it was pretty boring in the Frag Cup to watch. Like, what would happen? What would be the result? Would it be just ending CTF and having a HPS and D only type of play? Like
We were talking about that earlier.
Somebody brought this up earlier. It's the
I
type
missed
of thing
it.
that
My bad.
I don't really like. I don't really want to think about it because I don't want to just people to think, oh well, CTF's dead, we're moving on. I just want to see how CTF works.
Well, yeah,
out.
I mean, the O2 was awesome. I agree.
I'm pretty sure what everyone's hoping for is that the CTF just will work out. I think with more time put in and with a little more faster gameplay, more action, just we should see a better pace to it and more, like literally proof. Like how often do you drop 30s in CTF compared to MW3? It's got to be a lot different. Like
I would have to strictly kill Horn and stay stationary to drop a 30 bomb.
yeah, and like I hope honestly people don't see it, but that extra 2.5 seconds that could equal another 5 or 6
It's
kills.
either gonna play out to where teams push out more because they know they have less of a respawn, or people are just gonna. I see people overextending a lot more, so more flags getting pulled out, which just causes like a faster CTF gameplay because then they're gonna need to play from behind.
Chaotic, but at the same time, I prefer that to when it is now.
My prediction is gonna be there's gonna be more kills, less caps.
And I think what I'm looking for is one thing I've seen from CTF right now is like when you're down in CTF, you're really in a fucking you're pushed back and you're screwed. Like Proof said, I do think you'll be able to overextend more. I do think you'll have more opportunity to make more plays happen because you'll be able to get out there quicker. You'll be able to get back to your flag quicker. So I'm just hoping it brings more action and it's more entertaining to watch, more entertaining to play. It might bring some randomness and a little chaos, but that's not all bad. Hard Point is fucking chaotic as shit.
I mean, that's what I told like people. Like as a player, if CTF is fucking weird to play, just think about how it is to watch. You know what I'm saying?
It is. There's something weird about it to play, but I think as people play it more, you'll see more map control, and with the lower respawn, hopefully you do see more action. I just don't want the first flag to be winning CTF every time. I think that's what hurts it right now. It's like if you give up,
then you go to score streaks though, because then that's a huge influence on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Like first flag winning every time, like that has a big thing to do with score streaks.
I think with a smaller respawn delay, it should be harder to like kind of stay alive and hold your position because people will be getting more aggressive on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people who say demo in the chat. We've talked about demo before, but
yeah, we've talked about demos, Sabo. We've talked.
You know what? I'm gonna sit down like 1 week and literally just host demo 8s for like.
Sabo doesn't even exist in this game. I'm pretty sure.
No, it doesn't.
And demo. The thing here's my problem with demo is overtime is just like a lot different. Like if you're gonna play demo, it's almost to the point where you might as well just play one overtime round, pretty much, because demo does tend to be one-sided. And if you switch sides in overtime and play one side, then it's unfair. Like it was, like say on Scrapyard or any map where people were just like, oh well, we want offense or we want defense type of map. That really hurts it. But now with the way the overtime is, you're in like a tie even situation, and even though I think it could be a little entertaining, it's just not. It's not competitive the way we would want it to be. I don't believe where you just have one neutral bomb and like. The way you fight over it just doesn't seem like it works. Like it's like if Sabo only had one bomb in the middle, I don't think it would work. I could sit there and get a bomb plant down on Proofy, and he gets a defuse and a bomb plant at the same time. It's just kind of crazy.
What about like a really, really, really slow respawn time?
For
On
what?
demo.
For
Like-
demo?
Yeah, like I'm not thinking anything too fast. Like,
But how does that? What I'm looking for is like,
I mean, I feel like it's hard to get a central bomb when people are just insta spawning. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I
that's
feel like it's not that hard to get to the center of the map, rather than someone else's base where you have to plan like A and B like in the initial 2 rounds. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think it could definitely like we could look at.
I mean,
let's
I
try it.
love demos so much in MW2. I remember times where
So
we
did
like
I.
just
It was
get
the-
the
it was
bomb
the hard
defused at the
point.
nick of the second. You're getting hit by nades. You don't die, and you
Yeah.
get the defuse, and you're just
It
like, let's
was-
go.
It was
And
the
just
hard point of
crazy.
MW2 if you really think about it. Like
It
demo
was, man. I mean, I don't think MW2 would have been as fun as for spectators if it wasn't for demo. To be honest.
I think I'm honestly like next week just sit down and run demo 8s for a week and see what happens.
MW2 demo, I was dropping like 60 kills a game.
They were intense
Just
too,
spawn
like some
trapping.
intense diffuses, plants, like everything
Yeah.
came down to the wire.
I haven't had a chance. I see people talking about the spawns, but I haven't had a chance to see the actual spawns for demo. So I'm just basing it off how the rules are right now for the.
I can tell you from pubs, I've seen very similar spawns to MW2 when it comes to people getting spawn trapped. But I've also noticed there is that ability where if you do push the spawns too much, you can spawn a team like on your side of the map or mid map, which is interesting. I don't really know how it would work out though.
I mean, it's just like it comes with
High-res
the game
demo.
type. Like people figured out HP spawns. Maybe we just need to figure out the demo spawns as well and be able to play that game.
Anchor demo spawn.
Exactly. Anchor demo spawns. There you go.
It is actually a lot of that. That's how you do have to anchor the spawns in demo, which is interesting.
So I mean, I can definitely see that being an like just there's nothing wrong with trying it. Is all I'm saying. Nothing wrong with trying it at least.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It doesn't hurt at all. Overlay had just Skyped me and said that we could easily just run a demolition only tournament just to force people to try it. That doesn't hurt. That's one thing people are always like so hectic and out of control over some certain things when like really there's no
Like you play it, you don't like it. I can understand, but
Yeah,
if you don't even give it a chance and just
and
say
also
it's shit,
you
then
play
it's
it,
like,
you don't like it. What is it the big deal if it doesn't like if it just has no influence, no hurt on anything? All you're doing is trying something.
bro, if you
It's-
play demo, bro, you're not a competitive player anymore. You don't stand for what it believes.
People feel like their time is just so cherishable.
You don't
they can't-
support this community.
You don't
Get the
support this community.
frick
Who
out.
are you?
I'm gonna use Nadeshot as a weird example here, but he only eats like McDonald's and chicken fingers, and like is scared to like try like I think
Doesn't
he
he
eats,
only like ketchup with them too, or something
but
weird?
like
Like,
this. It's just like, and I'll ask him something like. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, like you never had like sushi's kind of a bad example, but I'll just be like, oh, you don't like sushi, and he'll be like, no. I'm like, oh, have you ever tried it? And he'll be like, no. And I'm like, well, how do you know you don't like it? You never tried it. He's like, I don't know. I just don't want to try it because I think I won't like it. And it's just like, well, that doesn't really work. And sushi is probably a bad example because I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like sushi, and
Fucking nasty.
yeah, but like,
Sushi's
and
good
even like,
shit, man.
like I think that Karma had said like, oh, I tried it once before and I didn't really like it.
Once you get past the seaweed, you're fine. It's the seaweed that makes
Hold on
the
one
ramen
second.
taste
It's
like
like caviar. Ugh.
You don't like fish eggs, bro?
Caviar is fucking disgusting.
You don't like fish eggs, bro?
I don't like fish in general other than shrimp. That's about it.
Wow.
Shrimp is really good.
What a joke. Where'd Ego go? This is all about him and 360 icons. What the
His
hell's he
dogs
doing?
dogs are tearing down the house.
Caviar is not like chocolate. You're tripping, bro.
man, Nutella. That's
No,
my.
I don't
Oh my
only eat
God.
cheese pizza and Villian. I actually don't even like plain pizza that much. I like mushroom and pepperoni.
I
You
love me some
you
cheese
wanna
pizza.
you wanna see me just eat a whole thing of Nutella? Get me a bag of pretzels.
Dude, I've never had Nutella. Believe it
Give
or
me a
not.
bag of pretzels and give me a jar of Nutella. I'm gonna
You
eat that whole bag of pretzels.
What
You said
type
you-
of pretzels? You want
You've never had
The
Nutella?
sticks.
Nutella and
Pretzel sticks?
Twinkies.
Yeah,
I've
boy.
never
You want
had
some
either.
rolled gold? You want some rolled gold
All right,
pretzel
hold on
sticks?
1 second. You said that you
Those
haven't had
sticks.
Nutella. I have a question for you. Do you like Nutella?
I don't know. I honestly don't think I would, to be honest.
No, I've had
Yeah, but-
Nutella before. I don't.
But see,
I'm
that's a
not fan
different. That's
of it.
two totally different things. It's like, well, do you like demolition? I don't think I would, but I haven't tried it. Or do you like Demolition? No, I don't like it at all, and I've never played it before.
But
Those
it's
are
like, how would I not like Nutella if I like chocolate and I like peanut butter? You mix them together.
All right, well, you're missing the analogy.
That sounds really good, man. Actually,
dude, Reese's, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Reese's are my shit, dude. I could eat
It
a bag
was
of
the
those.
same way with score streaks too. It's like, no, I hate score streaks.
Dude, I
Fuck that.
hated
How
them.
could they ever work? Have you tried them? Nope.
Dude, I hated them. I hated that I thought of them, and I definitely warmed up to it. It's fun playing with them.
I honestly, dude, this hard line could be really good, man.
Yeah, certain things like even I forget who I was talking about UAVs. I was like, yo, I would honestly rather have to use Ghost than someone call UAV on me. Than not use it and get hit by a fucking hunter killer every time. Because that was honestly the difference. If you notice when UAVs were here, you did not see a million hunter killers in a game. But now that UAV is gone,
honestly, I swear to you, teams have glitches where it just attacks, like has hunter killers only attack me. I die by 10 hunter killers a game.
Dude, when I throw a hunter killer,
I
it does nothing.
I want to see a coordinated hunter killer strike. Like everybody on the team all get hunter killers, and they all coordinate where they all throw.
Like
them
they
up
all
at the
throw it
same
in a
time.
certain direction.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Like
just
they
like-
all throw it up. You just see like four
That'd be
hunter killer drones like rotating the map, dude. That'd be
so
hilarious.
all four of them went after the same person. Got one kill with 4 hunter killers.
Fucking 4 down, the team pulls a flag, everybody on the team spawns up, 15 seconds
I'm
left.
gonna go ahead and dip out of here and fill in for Farico on scrims.
All right, man. Peace
Thanks
out.
for having me on here. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad I get to talk to your stream. I'm actually happy that they were asking for me to go on the show. That was really cool to see. You know, I always like being on here. So thanks again for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Keep doing what you're doing, Diesel Ego. Keep doing what you're doing. It's my first time actually talking to you, Neslo, but you sound like you have the right idea. So it was good talks, guys. Appreciate it.
Later, Jordan.
Later, boys.
Yeah, man. All right, well, I'm about to close the show out unless there's any last minute topics you want to talk about, Ego. Something else that we didn't touch on.
I'm here every week. We always got time to talk, and unless anyone has any questions or anything like that, we're straight.
Yep. So, any last minute questions? I'll just answer a few here for a second.
I wish Doc would have balled up and asked his question.
I know, right?
It was definitely disrespectful.
I'm not doing a chat bomb again. I want to get partnered on Twitch.
I want to get partnered. The Ego gets in trouble.
And fucking, that's not a good thing to do. That'll tarnish my
reputation.
Listen, I made my stream by chat bombing people. Don't tell anyone.
I believe it. That shit was popular, dude. A lot of people like that.
Everyone loves it.
I wish I got fucking chat bombed once in a while, man.
I've hit up admins before, like friends of mine on Twitch are admins, and just been like, "Please tell me how I can do this and it be okay."
Moho's been on the show a few times. He's always welcome to come on. I don't know what you're making it sound like. I don't let him on the show.
They probably want Moho to talk about why they dropped Ricky, why they picked up Dito, things like that, and the whole website.
There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes about that, and if they want to talk about it, then, I mean, maybe I'll try to get APOC and Moho and the whole Fear crew on here for Saturday. I'll work towards that for you guys to get you some answers. But if you guys, I think that's it. We touched on a lot of good things today. Talked about the rules, talked about new 360 Icons daily tournament starting up December 31st, it looks like. So go visit their site, 360icons.com, and check that out. So, I mean, hopefully we have another outlet other than GB now with bigger payouts for more teams that show up for it. So that's a good thing. Big shout out to the people that make this show happen. You got UMG Gaming, Squid Grip, In Control Avenger, and Vertex Labs, the creative genius behind the new look of the Weekly Rant. Give them a follow and hit up their website and everything. It's vertexlabs.net. All the Twitters are scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen. Give them a follow. That's all I have for today. Any shout-outs that you guys want to give before I shut the stream down?
Not really.
No?
Shout out to Theory Gaming. That's about it.
Yeah, I'll shout out just to anybody who plays and competes, man. You're my favorite people.
We love you, Ego. We love you. We love you. But, yeah, so that'll do it for tonight, guys. We'll be back Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another awesome show brought to you by myself and the Weekly Rant. So, peace out.